What's going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV. Today we're going to talk about things to know when visiting Thailand. Let's do it. So the main hub that you're going to arrive at more than likely is going to be Bangkok. And I recommend spending around 3 to 4 days just exploring around Bangkok before you go to Chiang Mai or Pattaya or Phuket or anywhere else in Thailand. All right, let's talk affordability in Thailand. You're gonna have flights that originate in country that can cost you anywhere between $50 to $67 to $85 per flight on one of the low-cost carriers to go from Bangkok to Chiang Rai or Chiang Mai, or to go from Bangkok to Phuket. That's a good price for airlines, plus a little bit of taxes, right? But then when it comes to accommodation, you can find hotels from $10 to $15. That's around 500 baht per night, 400 baht, 300 baht, really affordable accommodation. You can also find more expensive. I've typically been ranging anywhere between $50 per night per room, but you can definitely pay a little bit more if you want a chain hotel like Marriott or Hilton. So keep that in mind. Also, they do have very luxurious resorts that go for over $500 a night. People stay in those even though you can get equivalent quality at one of these off-brand hotels, resorts for, $50 to $100 per night. Now, when it comes to food, I've found that you can actually eat breakfast for less than $1 at times if you're willing to eat at a street vendor or a hole-in-the-wall restaurant. Thailand's super affordable. You could take a bus from Bangkok to Chiang Rai for 10 bucks. You could take a taxi from Chiang Mai to Chiang Rai for $55. I mean, you're not gonna find these kind of prices anywhere else around the world, except for in Southeast Asia and maybe some other places across Africa, but it's really affordable here in Thailand. So let's talk transportation. The big one that I want to talk about right now is going to be the water transportation. You take a long-tail boat. You can see this wooden boat right here. It's called long-tail boat because the propeller has about a 12-foot long rod that extends into the water. Then you have a ferry boat, which is a little bit slower than my favorite, the speedboat. The speedboat will take me from Phi Islands to Krabi right now in 1 hour, the ferry 2 hours. If I took a long-tail, it would be around 2.5 to 3 hours. Also, when it comes to getting around by train, the only place that really has it is in the north. So you can take a train down south, but it's not the best train. The train in Bangkok to Chiang Mai, probably the best. And then you also have private cars and taxis. Tuk-tuks in the big cities and in the villages like Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai. They all have tuk-tuks. Bangkok has a tuk-tuk. Pattaya has a tuk-tuk. You can get a tuk-tuk in Patong, but they look a little bit different, as you'll see right here. And so as you can see behind me, we are at a bus terminal. They've got many tuk-tuks that will pick you up right here. And they do have yellow taxis, but they also have taxis like this, where they have a covered back and you sit down in the pickup truck bed, which is very interesting. So go take a look at that. And let's talk about rideshare. So you would think they had Uber, but actually here it's Grab. So when you need to order a rideshare vehicle, download the super app called Grab. That also in that app has food delivery. So instead of Uber, you're gonna go with Grab, G-R-A-B. Download it before you get here. All right, now for the fun part, we're gonna talk about Thai food right here in Thailand. You're gonna get lots of noodle and rice here in Thailand. Also, curry goes good with the rice and the noodle dishes. There's going to be a variety of different meats. There's going to be pork, beef, seafood, plenty of different seafood varieties, including shrimp. I also had some Indian cuisine, as you can see here in Thailand. And then there's lots of rice. This is pineapple rice. And then there's soup. Plenty of different types of soup with noodles and fish balls. So really do try that. Tofu, I take one tofu. What is this?
Chicken.
I take one chicken. Yeah, so we're getting some street food. You can see it's got some tofu and a little chicken ball. They've also got fish balls, hot dogs, and some sausages. Yeah, there's lots of street vendors that are going to be posted up in Thailand. Unlike other countries where they have rules against street vendors like this, in Thailand they're pretty much on every single road and street corner you're going to walk through in every town. Also these food hawker stalls. And then you're going to have international cuisine. You're going to have burgers. You're also going to have corn, pastas for Italian food like this one. Lots of English breakfast, by the way, as you can see. Many varieties of fruit here, mango, papaya, you name it. Also, breakfast has its varieties, and then healthy food like salads and low carbs, fresh fruit and veggies at the farmer markets. And then there's unique exotic cuisine that I don't necessarily eat, but you'll see that here. Crickets and bugs. I also had scorpion while I was here though. Up to you how adventurous you want to get. Let's talk about accommodation and cost of visiting Thailand. So, the average tuk-tuk price is around 200 baht to go about a mile. If you're in a taxi, about the same price. If you get into an airplane and you want to fly from Bangkok to Koh Samui, you're looking at around $65 to $100 per person. That's pretty affordable, right? You could also take the train. The prices vary for that depending on the season and availability and the class that you're going to ride in. If you want a hotel right here in Koh Samui, right along the beach, for example, you can get it for as low as $25 a night. If you go right across the road, you can find hotels for as low as $7 a night, $10 a night, $15 a night. That's just right here in Cha Wing. Same deal in Phuket. The further away you go from the beach, the lower the prices. Now in Bangkok, you're gonna find hotels that are gonna be anywhere between $50 a night, sometimes as low as $35 a night, all the way on up to as high as $600 a night, depending on if you're staying in something like the Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton. So they have really high priced, luxurious hotels, and then they have cheap boutique hotels all over Thailand. All right, let's talk about weather and the best time to visit Thailand. As you can see right now, it's November, and we've been in the middle of the rainy season down here in the south. In particular, Koh Samui, Phuket, Krabi, every day it rains. So that is from July until November, sometimes even into December. But the Thai monsoon season, it's not consistent. It can be 8 months sometimes, and it can be 4 months other years. So keep that in mind, but the general rule of thumb is from July until November. Expect some sort of rainy season. We're here right in the middle of November, and it's downpouring today in Koh Samui. Here in Bangkok, instead of this sauna or this really hot heat that you get in Bangkok, it's actually mild right now. All right, when you come to Thailand, where are you gonna go? What do you want to see? Well, if you go to the north, you have Chiang Mai, which is the mountains. Right now here in October, it's actually chilly up there. You would need to bring a jacket and some warm clothes. But if you go south of here to say Phuket or some of the islands down there, it's a monsoon type environment right now. Maybe even a typhoon will come through even here in fall. But those islands, that's where you really want to spend time. If you want to do the island hopping, you can see Koh Samui, Koh Phi Phi. You can also go to Hong Island, James Bond Island, right? So there's many different islands in the south, but here where I am right now is in a temple in Pattaya City. So you'll get these temple experiences with Buddhism, which is what we're experiencing right now. Just look at this place. Also guys, if you're enjoying this travel guide, you can check the links below in the description. We have more videos from Thailand, as well as a full playlist of 7 different destinations in Thailand. And things to do are going to include safari parks like this one you have here. You can do some off-roading in ATVs and see what's up in the jungle out in Thailand. They also have elephants here. Now, it's not recommended to ride the elephants, but if you go there and just show some love to elephants, that's probably not a bad thing. And beach activities are going to include jet skiing, riding banana boats, doing paragliding, also checking out surf schools, lots of jet ski activity at the beaches. As you go inland away from the beaches, you'll see people doing snake shows. You also have tiger sanctuaries. You just want to make sure that if you go there, the tigers are not being drugged. Also, they have the Long Neck Village, a cultural experience. Also, you have the floating markets where you go around in a boat and shop, or just simply lounging at the beach, playing volleyball or just relaxing. And then you have temples. There's so many different temples across Thailand. You're going to have the temples in the north, and then you're going to have the temples around Bangkok and the temples in the south. A variety of different spiritual experiences, mostly related to Buddhism. All right, guys, next thing you want to know about the currency or the money situation here in Thailand. So they use the Thai baht. Right now, the US dollar has the strongest conversion against the Thai baht that it's had in over 2 decades. About 37 to 38 Thai baht equals $1. That's a pretty good bang for your buck out here in Thailand. Now, the thing is, when you go to the ATMs, they're going to give you a varying conversion rate depending on where you go. So try to go to a bank to actually withdraw the money from one of those ATMs. But when it comes to using credit cards or debit cards, you'll notice cash is king here. So having Thai baht on you is how you're gonna get things done. Typically you take out 10,000 Thai baht, that's around 220 to 230 depending on the conversion rate. Using credit cards at hotels is fine. Using credit cards around some of the tour companies is all right, but when you're paying for taxis or when you're paying for food, you'll notice you're gonna wanna use Thai baht. Now, on the subject of dangers, there's something else that I would like to point out. I've noticed that people rent ATVs, motorbikes, jet skis, and they do it while they're under the influence of some substance. And there's a multitude of different substances that people come to Thailand and take, not just alcohol, okay? So they get all kind of like they're in a playland and there's no rules, and they just go out, get absolutely annihilated, hammered, and it'll be 3 o'clock in the afternoon and they'll do something like crash into a Thai local, and the next thing you know, they're being apprehended by basically a citizen's arrest by the Thai person saying, hey, you have to stick around, and the Westerner person is trying to leave, and then what ends up happening is a big fight breaks out, and then the Westerner thinks that they can fight the Thai guy. That's just never going to be a good thing here, because in Thailand, you're always going to get way more Thai people who are going to attack you if you start attacking or fighting a Thai local. So never ever think that it's smart to fight a Thai local, because that will not end up in your favor at all. And I just witnessed it about 10 minutes ago. All right, let's talk about some general facts to know about Thailand. The population, 69 million people. The majority of Thais, 95%, are actually Buddhist. Also, another thing to know is the language is Thai. And if you want to learn some words, I'll give you 2 real quick. Sawadi Kap is hello, and Kap Kun Kap is thank you. So when you say Kap Kun Kap, that just means thank you, and you put your hands like that. It's just a nice way to do something. And just a few more things to know about Thailand. It's also known as the land of the smiles. You'll have to come here and see why they call it the land of the smiles. So many smiley people. Also, it used to be called Siam. You know, Siamese cat. Well, Thailand used to be known as Siam. Also, one last thing to know. It was never actually colonized. One of the only countries in Southeast Asia that never fell under colonial rule. So it is really a powerful nation here in Indochina. And when you get to Thailand, I do recommend getting a SIM card. They do have eSIMs, although those are not at the airport. Typically, you're gonna find the regular SIM cards out here at the airports. If you needed to get an eSIM, you can go to one of the shopping malls. Self-care in Thailand is very abundant. They do have a lot of massages where you can get a Thai massage. They stretch out your whole body and really get your muscles going.
250 baht, got a nice shave and clean up, and that's around $7 or $8.
I would say massages are really in abundance. They're going to be right here on the beach. You can do a couples massage. You can do your own massage for 30 minutes or an hour. Another thing I like to do when I go to Thailand is get fitted for some custom clothing. I like to get suits. And we're looking to get fitted for a suit. Actually, shirts. He's taking my measurements. I might buy shirts. He said around 750 baht, which comes out to about, what, 25, 30 US?
Yeah, something like this.
Okay.
You see.
That's for a custom dress shirt. But like I said, you can get a suit here and they take your measurements. It takes usually 3 days to get the actual product back. And then they have these markets where you can get these off-brand kind of clothing. They say it's Under Armour, they'll say it's Gucci, but it's really not. But it's gonna be selling for like $7 or $10 for each item, depending on what you get. But they have a lot of these kind of markets all across Thailand and every single major tourist destination. Let's put it like this, you could show up in Thailand with nothing but the clothes on your back and still find every single clothing item you could possibly need for under $100 to last you for probably a week or 2. They have that kind of setup in Thailand. Very cheap and affordable place. Now when it comes to nightlife and partying, they're gonna have the full moon party, which is on Koh Phanong. They're gonna have some partying going on Koh Samui. Phuket is known as like the party capital of the south of Thailand. And then there's Bangkok, which obviously has so much partying. a lot of it is going to be very much like the movie Hangover. So if you're a young person or an old person, you're going to find yourself getting sucked into the vortex of partying unless you go off into the villages to sanctuaries. When you're in the big cities, the party is all around, especially in the evening time. But again, I do recommend you exercise extreme caution when getting too carried away with partying, because Thailand is one of those kind of places you could end up in a hangover type situation. But the good news, it's not all about partying. They also have these night markets like you can see right here in Chiang Mai, very crowded. This is actually a weekend market. This is how busy it gets up there in Chiang Mai right now. And in conclusion, I would say that you're going to really enjoy Thailand. I can't wait to hear your stories when you go into the comments about your experience in Thailand, because I personally really enjoy Southeast Asia and Thailand. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, do check out our Bangkok travel guide, or just watch our full playlist by clicking the bottom link, and that will take you to all of our Thailand videos. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Island Hopper TV.